Alright. Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective. Trying to get set up here. Make sure my audio is good. So far, nobody in the house yet. Trying to get my level correct. Alright, sitting here in the parking lot of the Baptist Hospital in Pensacola. It turns out that my wife's condition is getting much worse, which is very discouraging. And who do I just have? Luciano, how you doing? So anyway, we need her to be able to see her pulmonologist. 12B, how you doing? Gloria, welcome. Anyway, so the only way she's going to be able to see her allergy or pulmonologist, the one that's taking care of her lungs, is she had to submit to a CV test. So we are doing that now. Hey DM, C, how you doing? America Mindrender, let's see. Yep. Shelly, I got the sitting in the car. And I know I tell you I don't do videos while I'm driving. I still stick to that, but I'm sitting in the parking lot. But anyway, for those who just came in here, we're here because my wife was required to get a CV test, CV-19, because her condition is deteriorating. Her lungs are in really bad shape. She's dealing with coughing spells that are going into an hour now at a time, and she basically coughs all her oxygen out and damn near passes out. So things are not good for her right now. I would say that, if you're the praying type, then pitch all you can my way, because we're both a little concerned. Things have been getting rapidly worse for her in the last few months. I mean, really accelerating. We know that we both understand that she's not going to be a long liver. She's not going to be one of these 80-year-old people that's in a nursing home bitching about everything. It's just not going to be in her cards. But she turns 50 in July, so I think we're at this point saying a little too early. Northern Tiger, how you doing? So we're trying to do whatever the things we have to do to keep her moving and keep her breathing, so we are at the hospital doing that. She's getting this stupid COVID test, and then she has to get a chest x-ray. They're actually going to be looking at her heart too, because the risk is that there's a heart condition underlying along with all of this, with her coughing and shortness of breath and all the things that are going along. So they're going to try to make sure to get the heart out of the equation if necessary, and just eliminate what can be eliminated before we go further with the things that need to be looked into. Thank you, Northern Tiger. Appreciate that. My lungs are like cement after working in the mines. Oh, I believe that 12B. Black lung. Yeah. But anyway, so we're here today doing this. She's in there. Basically, they're going to give the test. She's going to sit in this sealed room, whatever the hell they're going to do, and she has to wait in there for 30 minutes, and then they get a confirmation or a negative, whichever is the case. We've been very careful with this whole thing. We realize most of it's inflated. We do know that they are using this disease to target the weak, the elderly, Como, so we have been very careful, because we know that it's a death sentence for her if she gets it. We both believe wholeheartedly that if she's got it, then she already had it when we left Virginia. Duke, how you doing? Because we think that they released this crap in Virginia on the people that went there for the protests, because we were both in pretty bad shape when we came home. But either way, so get the stupid test, then she gets her chest x-ray, and then we set up an appointment to go see her doc. And we'll know a little more about that as that time progresses. Uh, Suzanne, how you doing? Grandma Moses, welcome. Anyway, so I wanted to go over a few things. I wanted to tell you what the story is on Lisa before I got into this stuff, because I wanted you guys to be aware. It may actually interrupt some of my schedule too, because we're going to be going at all of this pretty aggressively. If we get appointments, they're going to be pretty much last minute. At this point, with her being in what would be considered an emergency state, then appointments will not be put off for months. So it may affect my live ability, my schedule, but like right now, what's happening, I'm sitting in the car waiting on her because they don't allow people in there with the people that are being tested. Anyway, so we will see how all this goes. But just a heads up on the way things are going for us right now. There is a lot of stress, just like Hitler did kill off Infern. Yes, yeah, that's something they're doing. They're targeting these areas, and it's really sickening. Uh, Agenda 21 is all I can say. It's the part of the 16-year plan. Things are going to get worse before they get better. Been busy with your kitten and news. Well, that's good. Hopefully news secondary, because cats can always come first. Try to tell a cat they don't come first. See how quickly they'll scratch your eyes out. But anyway, so a couple of things that are going on. I've mentioned the events, and this CB event is not working out. The left has lost their mind, had a health scare first of the month, had to have mammograms, and sounds so far so good. Nothing showed. All right, well, pray for you and make sure that still nothing shows. But anyway, so I mentioned that this event is going to fail, and when it fails, they've got to think of other things. And I said to watch out for natural and unnatural disasters. And I just have one to bring up that seems awfully suspicious. The people in Michigan have pissed off their royal leader, Whitmer, and she is retaliating. Tobacco must be wet. She's retaliating because she's mad that they're not doing what they're told like good little children and staying in their room like they're supposed to and without dinner. I mean, that's essentially what she's doing, because you can't work, you can't eat. So she's putting you in your room without dinner and grounding you. And if you dare to stand up and say, no, this ain't happening, then she'll just make it a little longer. We've all been through that with our teenage kids. Well, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. That's all right. Well, you'll get tired of sitting in there, and eventually you'll do what I tell you to do, because the rules in the house are mine. And that's the way she feels right now. She feels like she's the one in total charge. So if you go against her, she will retaliate. Now, so that being said, I don't know if you guys have heard, but 2 of the dams up there, forgive my language, have ruptured. They said they've been getting a lot of rain, and 2 of their dams up there have collapsed, and they've got areas that are under 9 feet of water, houses flooded, people evacuated, all of that. Now, there are approximately 91,000 dams in this country, and out of those 91,000 dams, guess how many of them are in solid structural condition? Wrong! None of them! They are all rated at a D or worse. So you've got a couple of structures in California that have been softened up because of prior rains. Well, what would happen if those things kind of went down? Things happen. They can give these things a little push and destroy communities, and they can just blame it on weather or whatever. Texas gets weather for all directions. It can, yeah. Well, we do too. I've been dealing every day that I'm supposed to go live, I've been dealing with heavy rain. Every day that I'm supposed to be doing the chores around the property, I get a bright sunny day. So I guess I can't really complain, but it is frustrating because I have so much to get out, so much to do, and I can't go live on my phone from the house because I don't get a damn cell signal. We're right in the flight path of the military bases, so we have a bit of scrambling going on that makes it very difficult to get cell signal and stuff like that. So anyway, that's all the excuses I can come up with, but it's very inconvenient, frustrating. But I'm trying to read this chat, but it's very small. Uh, mm, oh, thank you for that prayer. Appreciate that. It's weird when I start to read it. Sometimes it drops out. But anyway, so you guys need to be watching for the natural and the unnatural disasters. Uh, it doesn't take much to create an unnatural disaster like a failing dam. Like I said, just give them a little push. They're all rated at D or less. Um, got to go. Got something to take care of. All right, appreciate you for jumping in here, JVOP. See you later. Anyway, so keep your eyes open, stay vigilant, watch your surroundings, pay attention to the people that are paying attention to you too. Um, I've got a security guard over here at the hospital that is just eyeballing the crap out of me, and I don't I don't like being eyeballed. I tend to keep my mouth flapping when I get that kind of thing, but I've already talked to her. She seems pretty cool, but she's like been absolutely infatuated with my activity, and I don't like that. So you gotta watch the people watching you because you want to know what their intention is. You want to be able to analyze the situation, and you want to come out of it without having to worry about it. Um, the Lake Basin Earthen Dam Gateway. Yeah, well, there's one in California that almost went last year, I think, that they've been working on, but they said the spillway is still not in good shape. Um, so, uh, am I loitering? No, I am. I am in a mandatory holding pattern because they won't allow anybody into the facility. Um, Hello, Jebney. How you doing? They won't allow anybody into the testing facility, so I'm forced to sit in the car and wait. So there is no loitering. I'd like to see them pull that shit off. Well, you can't wait in the parking lot. Yeah, you got my wife in a sealed room in a building that I'm not familiar with. Ain't going nowhere. So anyway, it's just a thing. Maybe I'm paranoid, but usually I never let myself down. When I get a feeling, I tend to be correct most of the time. Appreciate you putting up my links, DM. This is not going to be a long live, but I know that I haven't been on in days because of the weather. So I figured since I'm going to be away from the house, we had these appointments to do, I'd go ahead and spend a few minutes with you all hanging out, and I can do this since I'm not home. Um, and all listening, Empire Post, how you doing? All right, so another thing I wanted to bring up, we already talked about the disasters. I want you guys to really be paying attention. See something, say something. If you can't say it to the cops, for whatever reason, there's animus between police and civilians right now in a lot of cases. Unfortunate, but you got to say it to somebody. If you see something that's out of hand and looks a little suspicious, you need to be able to be ready to tell somebody about it. But next thing to talk about, I think some of you may remember the old red dot, yellow dot, blue dot. That period of time back several years ago when people's mailboxes were getting tagged with a little sticker. Create a little rainstorm through Harp. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. That they are capable. I'm expecting really nasty weather this year. I hope you guys mark my words on that. My wife and I were talking about it the other day. I said you got to watch the hurricane season. Um, oh, thank you. Yeah, I made that. Made that dream catcher. Um, you know, part of the heritage. I had to put my military, my unit patches on there, so that's part of it. But yeah, that's my protection. Anyway, so go into that red dot, blue dot thing. If you had a red dot, you were to be exterminated because you were a threat to the globalism. A yellow dot means that you are capable of being re-educated, and a blue dot means you're buddy-buddy with the team that is going to rule the world. Um, when this all went down, I had a red dot on my mailboxes. Well, I took that shit off. They already had me marked off anyway, but I had the red ones. So I took them off my mailbox. Basically, they can kiss my ass. If they want some, they got to come get some. But they have a problem because they're not going to find somebody that's afraid and cowering and saying, please, NASA, don't hurt me. No, we going to dance. So anyway, the reason I bring that up is because I was watching a guy, Tiberius Rex is what he goes by on YouTube, and he got a document from a local sheriff. He was very encrypted in his speech, and kind of difficult to follow because he doesn't want to divulge information that would put people in danger, which I totally understand. But I mean, the way he was talking, it was just very, very difficult to keep up. But in the general senses of it, let's see, what'd you say? I have plans for world domination. All right, dude. Well, I can be down with that. But anyway, there has been a list created by the International Terrorist Reactionary Team. And this is a group that they are basically law enforcement. Nancy Davis, how you doing? Shelly Green, good to see you. This list is being put together by this terrorist reaction team, and it's domestic people, and specifically, saying the video very gibberish, hard to follow him. Yeah, it was, but I got what he was saying. The point is, they're putting police officers on this list, not the police officers that are doing the yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir kind of, I will do whatever you tell me regardless of the constitutional standards of this United States of America. One of them, those are not on the list. The ones that are on the list are the constitutionalists. Like this Greg Anderson that just spoke out. I think it was Greg. Anyways, that last name was Anderson. Telling his fellow officers, follow your oath. Prior service officers, especially. I mean, you fought for this freedom, and then you're going to come here and take it away from others. It's insane. But this list is being compiled of the sheriffs and the deputies and any police officer that is a constitutionalist, for the purpose of removal from their positions should an event take place in this country, which most definitely it will. They're already practicing with COVID, but it's not working. So yes, there will be another event. Absolutely, there will be another event. They still got plenty of time between now and November 3rd. What they really want, they want us in the streets. They want us fighting. They want us at each other's throat. But they're too stupid to realize that most of the people are way too awake for the whole fighting back and forth thing. We know where the problem is. It's not in the people. It's not in the people. It's in the leadership. So guess where the fight's going to go? Sam, how you doing? Good to see you. True Kells, welcome. Seeing some new names on here. That's cool. Welcome to all you folks and new subscribers, people who want to hang out. Appreciate you being here. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. Share the videos out. This one's kind of a little bit of a banter, just mainly a video of heads up. No real specific details on anything. But we need to be careful because they are coming after the conservatives. They're coming after the constitutionalists. They're working hard to make it difficult for us. The New World Order is in full effect. The war is in place, and you know it's a quiet war. You don't hear the gunshots, but people are dying, and a lot of things are happening. So it's most definitely still a war. Um, anyway, I just for as long as we possibly can. They have been soaking the bread baskets since last fall, and maintenance on dams caused them to fail. Yeah, yep, that's true. We got to be careful. Anyway, so not sure exactly what I was just saying. I got distracted, but again, we're just sitting here at the horse pistol and waiting on her. But another situation I came across today, and my disclosure first, I need you guys to understand that anybody who volunteers as a force to protect others, police officers, firefighters, medical personnel, military, uh, all of you folks, I have the utmost respect for, and absolutely would serve side by side with any of them without hesitation. Um, the problem I have is that the bad apples are being exposed a lot more than the people that are doing good deeds. And Douglas Ducote made a good point in his last, I think it was the last video, when he said that the police officers are getting a bad rap. And the problem is, he agrees that there are bad apples in every organization, and there absolutely are. Even in the military, there are some real pricks in the military that really do a disservice to the uniform. I served under one of them. Um, I wouldn't even salute him unless I had to. That's the kind of prick that he was. So there are bad apples. And I saw a video today of an example of one of them. And this guy was a former Marine, which absolutely disgusts me. And it's about a guy who opened his gym, and this cop basically broke all kinds of laws to shut this guy's gym down because he opened it and wasn't supposed to, because the Lord and governor told him not to. But this has got to stop. These people that are going against their constitution and lambasting the society with their draconian laws and their rules that aren't laws at all, they are popping up out of the woodwork, and it's got to stop. If you are a sworn officer, then your first duty is to the people and to the protection of those freedoms that the people have. Uh, those freedoms aren't listed in the Constitution. They're protected by the Constitution. The Constitution is to stop you as a sworn officer from overreaching your powers as a sworn officer. You are restricted by the Constitution. Any government agency, any servant to the government, to the people, you are the one that is upheld to the standard of the Constitution. You are the one that is not supposed to reach over that and harass the public. If it's an unconstitutional order, you are obligated to refuse that order. It's, I mean, in your oath itself, it gives you an out, a clause that all orders given to me under the Code of Military Justice in roundabout way. But anyway, it says right there in your oath that if it's not according to the Code of Uniform Military Justice, or according to the grounds of the Constitution laid out for you, then you are not obligated to follow it. Bad apples in every system, those need to be exposed and dewormed. Yes, I agree. But the problem is that the computer warriors and the camera warriors and the First Amendment auditors and the police and all these other ones, they almost never show you a positive interaction between the police and the public. It's a little frustrating. It's just like the bullshit that the left does to us. The news is always bad. It's always evil. You're always gonna die. Uh, it's a constant state of vitriol. They want you angry. They want you in fear. They want you at each other's throat. They want you divided, because this country coming together would be the biggest force in humanity, and there'd be nothing that could stand up to it. It would be over. So they have to keep us divided. But these people that do these audits, good on them, because you have to expose the bad if you want to make a correction. But for God's sakes, man, put up some fucking positive ones. I'm sorry, that just fell out. Try not to do that, but just put up some positive feedback once in a while. Show some interaction. Show the ones where the cops driving through a neighborhood see a kid that's playing basketball all by himself. They park the car to get out and they shoot some baskets with the kid. I love that stuff. That's what I would do. It's about the public that you're supposed to be representing. You're supposed to be protecting. So take some time and put some good light on this stuff. But anyway, that's my point on this. That, yes, we need to get rid of the bad apples, and they need to be exposed, because that's the reason that I do my show on Sunday nights called Inside Veterans Affairs at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The whole purpose of that is not to destroy the Veterans Affairs or expose the military's bad deeds. I do it because if you can create exposure, if you can bring light to a subject, then embarrassment is a very powerful tool and usually results in corrections. So I don't intend to embarrass, or I don't intend to destroy the organization, but if they do something out of whack, I tend to embarrass them about it, expose it, and then it will be corrected, because they don't want to continue to be embarrassed. So that's the point I'm making. Expose the people that need to be exposed. When they are acting like tyrants, they have got to be brought to the attention of the people. That's the only way it'll get corrected. But don't believe for a second that just because you see all the videos on YouTube, that is the way that the cops are in general, because they're not. There are some really good ones out here. There are some incredible people that are still serving the community, and just need to remember that. And I don't know, what am I at right now? 28 minutes. So she's been in there for it's supposed to be 30 minutes. She's been in this now, in a sealed room now, for about 34 minutes. So she should be coming back out here in a minute. If there was any possibility that she came up hot with this test and they decided to do something stupid like quarantine her from me for whatever reason, then might be a whole different type of live program I got here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer, and then I'll be going to question and see what's going on. But anyway, now I wanted to bring up something that Mr. Pete the Patriot had on his show, and I just want to say I'm totally disgusted. I'm totally offended. I could almost cry. He was referring to that thing from Georgia as an M1 Abram. And for the love of God, brother, the M1 Abram is one of the baddest ass tools in the arsenal of the United States Army. I love the M1 Abram. So to put that beautiful piece of equipment that kicks all kinds of ass in the same category as the one that has all kind of ass. That's just not right. Well, I was devastated. So, it's just, yeah, huge is an understatement, but please leave the M1 Abram out of this. That machine does not deserve to be brought down to that level. I drove one of those things when I was in the Army. That was a blood-curdling rush of every description. But I'd love to have one of my own. Karma Ghost sitting here. How you doing? So, let's see. I used to like big women. There's nothing wrong with big women. There's nothing wrong with little women. Nothing wrong with women. I mean, it's what's in the heart. If they care for you, you care for them, then you got a good thing going. It just doesn't matter. But, yeah, apparently to us, again, being conservative, color doesn't matter. Sexual orientation doesn't matter. Who gives a damn? Live and let live. That's the conservative mantra. Did Pete come in here and say something about that? Can I even scroll down? Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow. Talking about the girth. Yeah, but, oh, man, please don't disgrace the M1 like that again. I couldn't take it. I almost fell out of my chair. I felt a little bit sick in my throat there. Oh, it was devastating. I've never been so offended in my life. Just never, ever. Oh, God, I just never. Oh, phew. Anyway, so that's that. But, what was I saying? Okay, so still waiting on her, and as soon as she comes out of here, I'm going to break my number one rule for just a minute, but it's a technicality. American Joe's YouTube channel was hacked, tons removed. Wow. Don't put your fingers on the lens. Okay, I wouldn't think of it. So anyway, I've survived my emotional spell now and my being offended. But that's another thing. We can be totally offended and we get over it. Because see, I already feel better. I got all that out and I'm good to go. You're right, Pete. Yes, you did. It takes a lot to get me. I mean, it really does. So you did an exceptional job. But anyway, so I was getting to the, color doesn't matter, race doesn't matter. Nothing matters to a conservative except for the fact that if you are free, you're happy with your freedom, you enjoy the people around you, you are a decent person, then the criteria for acceptance into the world of patriotism, you just don't require that much. You just need to be a freedom-loving, constitutional American. And it doesn't even matter what religion you choose. It just doesn't matter. If you're good to people and people are good to you, that's what conservatism is. If you want your freedom, you want to be left alone, then again, you are in the conservative mindset. You can call yourself an independent, Republican, Democrat, whatever. It doesn't matter what you choose as your title. It just matters what you do, how you act. Respect others and be respected in return. My wife is now talking to the security guard. She started to walk over here. Security guard called her. So now, okay, she's now coming this way. She's probably saying, I don't know what he's doing over there, but he needs to knock it out. But, how do you say bite me? All right, so she's about to get in the car, so come on. Nope, no, she's not. I had her locked out. Be careful. So, how'd it go?
Fine. We both think I don't have it.
Well, no shit.
Oh, no, Tuesday.
Tuesday? I thought they said that they'd have it today.
No, Tuesday.
All right, so we need to go around to the other side.
Yeah. They are not sending my doctor the results. They're calling me and they'll send me a copy.
Thank you. Yeah, but you know what? It's habit. I didn't even think about it being on me. I am a major seatbelt advocate because when I had my truck accident that broke my back, if I wasn't in a seatbelt, I would not be talking to y'all right now.
She's thinking maybe a steroid, but we gotta get this done first.
Yeah, well, you need to get your
Results.
X-ray. But yeah, I'm thinking steroid too.
She said my lungs are junky.
Yeah, no kidding. You can hear that just in your breathing. But anyway, so we're swinging around to the other side of the hospital because the entrance for the CV test is isolated. You can't go into that area and then go into the main hospital. So we got to go around the hospital, repark, and then she has to go inside and get her X-ray for the chest. And they're going to take a look at her heart and her lungs and
I don't know what they're doing.
see what they're going to find in there. But yeah, they're incredible medical diagnosis so far is her lungs sound junky.
That's what she said.
We could have figured that out. All right. Parking lot number 2.
Yeah.
Now, never drive your car when you're doing a live stream, folks. Just do as I say, not as I do. Look, took it off. I didn't even think about it, but that is funny. You can never be too safe. Always use your seatbelt, even in a parking lot. All right, you running in? I've already been in once. I got my little number. Yeah, they tag you like cattle. They want you to have your own mask, but they actually do have masks inside that they give out to folks. But you go into the front of the hospital here and they, have you been out of the country? No. Have you been hanging around anybody that's possibly exposed? No. Rogue, ferret. Let's see, what did you say here? If more people had the perspective, just imagine what our world would be like rather than the hatred. Yeah, but hatred really does fuel the evil entities that want to control everything. I mean, that's just the way it is. They live off of the hatred. They thrive on it. But anyway, that little thing right there, that's FORSCOM. That was my command when I was in the military. That's forward operating. So we were the support team that would run to the front lines and go through the gates of hell to get equipment, personnel, and otherwise to these combat fighters that are on the front lines. We were not a rear operating transportation company. We would go straight in it, which was cool because it made our training a lot more intense. We did all of the heavy tactical training that the infantry would do, and all of the advanced training that is required. We did a lot of training under special ops commands and stuff like that, and that's what I enjoyed. I liked all the hardcore training and the learning the fighting skills of the elites, because we were the ones that would go in there with them and take care of what needed to be taken care of. So that was cool. Tactical technician, how you doing? Good to see you. Anyway, so I imagine she's going to be in there probably another 20 or 30 minutes. I don't want to go back in because I don't want to have to resubmit to all the questions and all the crap. The only reason we're even partway playing this game is because they've obviously got Lisa against a rock and a hard place. I mean, yes, she needs to get her medication and try to get her lungs cleared up, but then you have her doctor that does her lung treatments and stuff saying, well, I won't even see you if you don't have a CV test. So this is the kind of bullshit we got to get around. Doctors being afraid to see patients all of a sudden. That to me is disgusting. My father was a physician. Many of you already know that. And he went into places with some of the sickest people on the planet. He dealt with Ebola. He dealt with things that would make most people cringe. But Not for 1 second did he ever hesitate to. Oh, sorry about that. You're not getting me right now. Oh, anyway, so he never hesitated, and there was never an ultimatum. Well, if you want to come see me, you're going to go do this first. That's some of that bullshit that I'm talking about. And it goes into that same category. You're either a servant of the people or you're not. And if you can't handle the capacity of serving the people in a legal and constitutional way, then maybe career change. Get out of the position of serving the public. But that's my suggestion. Um, I never hesitated to go do what I was asked to do, even if it meant putting my life in danger, without hesitation. I'm one of the ones that'll run to the fight. There are not that many people like that when they hear gunshots, they run to it. I've done that before. I didn't even have a damn gun on me at the time. I have run to a firefight absolutely unarmed. Fortunately, my reaction was immediate, but by the time I got there, it had already been handled. So you kind of take off towards the fight, and then you, on your way there, or when you get there, you go, okay, now shit, what am I going to do about this? So anyway, it's instinct and reaction. But guess what? Raining again. This is getting ridiculous. I hard to believe uh, how either clueless these doctors are, or some of them are part of the agenda. The umpires both. Yeah, that is something that crossed my mind. You got to remember the cabal is wide. The rabbit hole is wide and deep, and it branches out into every aspect of society and humanity. Um, Money, in some cases, is a pretty powerful tool. They can't bribe me. Um, I'm a professional broke. I'm good at it. I don't need a lot of money. I need enough to live, and I have that. So trying to bribe somebody like me, it'd be like, whatever. Money's the root of all evil. I don't give a damn. I can function just fine with as little of it as necessary. But anyway, yeah, it's wide, it's deep, and it's corrupt. So the coordination to do something like this CB deal worldwide, it tells you how branched out they are, how much the cabal and the New World Order already has a pretty good foothold, because they've managed to shut down the planet. But we, the people, need to get the planet back. And that means every country, every person. I mean, humanity was never meant to be ruled by a small group of people. There's supposed to be free will. Even in the Bible, God Himself gives the people free will. If you do something stupid, that's on you. If you denounce God, if you denounce your faith, that's on you too. He gave you the ability to make your own decisions, to create your own thoughts, to make up your own mind. And some people do it well, and some people don't. So free will is our God-given right. Jump through the political hoops to get necessary things done. I don't trust the test enough to get the tested. Um, yeah, I don't trust any of it. Um, I mean, if they came out to me and said, you need to come in and be tested, then you guys would see a side of me that I don't try to put on YouTube, because I don't play the game. I'm doing this for Lisa because we know that if she doesn't get her help soon, then she's not going to be here, because her lungs are in really bad shape. But you guys know the deal on that. She was born with a bad set of lungs. Her dad was in Vietnam, exposed to Agent Orange. Uh, you discovered Dr. Paul Contrell. Yeah, I like him. He's a good guy. Um, yeah, he does a lot of research and data. But anyway, so her father was exposed to Agent Orange, and they're finding out now. My son is trying to call me. He's going to have to wait. They found out that the children of the. God. All right, so I'm going to have to make some phone calls back in a minute. So they're finding out the children of people that were exposed to Agent Orange they were exposed in utero. And when he came back from Vietnam, shortly after that, he had their daughter, which is my wife. And when she was born, she had skin problems. She had underdeveloped lungs. And now as she's been older, she's been, uh, her lungs have been thoroughly examined. And she has, there are little things called pescules that draw the oxygen out of the inhale when you breathe it into your lungs. Well, her lungs only have about between 72 and 75% of the ones that she needs. The rest are missing. She never got them. So, she's always had lung issues. And yeah, we smoke, but here's the reality of that too. The same problem that she has with the absorbing oxygen is the same reason that the smoking isn't saturating her system either, because she just doesn't have the stuff in her lungs to process either one. So, I mean, there are two arguments on that one. Yeah, if you've ever had the flu, you could test positive for CV. That's true. But, yeah. All right, so I think I literally have been bending your ear long enough. I'm almost at 45 minutes now. Charles, how you doing? Nancy, that is correct. Already destroyed most other countries. Yeah, well, they're working on ours too. Um, did YouTube take down the last video of Sam? I don't know. Face down, tactical technician. Yep, that would be interesting. All right, y'all. I am going to get off of this thing. I see 47 minutes. I'll bet who's keeping track. All right, so look for me tonight. We'll be joining Pete on Fact, Fiction, and Beyond. It'll be, I think it's going to be Darwin's grab bag, because I have no idea what we're talking about yet. So we'll see about that shortly. But anyway, she's still in there. All right, y'all. Make sure you stay in the fight. And I'll learn how to shut this off in just a minute.